Are you thinking about buying a home in Memphis, West Tennessee, or maybe North Mississippi? Whew. Well, before you buy, I'm so glad that you tuned in here because in this video, we are going to talk about 5 costly mistakes that you will avoid by watching this video. You know, there's so many things to think about when buying a home here in this region, and it's a lot different than buying in any other place. A lot of times, first-time home buyers and out-of-state buyers, they don't think of these things. So from taxes changing from one county to the next, to flood zones, to homes in the southern regions, different things that you're not familiar with, from inspections, not taking the inspection seriously or not understanding the inspection report. We're going to talk about all of that today. So I'm glad that you tuned in here. I'm Sondretta Green, your go-to real estate agent here, licensed in Tennessee and in Mississippi, your relocations expert, and your Home for Heroes affiliate. I'm your girl, Sondretta Green. Welcome to my channel, living in Memphis and West Tennessee. I'm so glad you tuned in here. And if you're relocating to West Tennessee or North Mississippi and you're ready to get started, go ahead and give me a call. My number is right there. I would love to assist you in your home buying process, whether you're buying here or maybe you're moving, you're relocating, you're leaving here. There's links below where you can sign up, whether you're selling a home or whether you're relocating here to buy a home. There's 2 links. So go ahead and call me, text me, or hit those links and we can get started. So now let's dive into this great information that I have for you today. So let's jump into these 5 things that you need to know before buying a home in West Tennessee so that you can move forward with confidence and knowing what it takes and to avoid these costly mistakes and keep more money in your pocket. So first, number 1, let's talk about these property taxes. They will vary from county to county. So in Memphis, you have Shelby County, and then going further east towards the Nashville area, but it's about Tipton County is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes from Memphis. And then we have Fayette County as well, which Fayette and Tipton County, if you're going to be moving here for the Naval Air Station, NSA Mid-South, most people that are stationed there will live in Tipton County or Fayette County. So let's go ahead and dive into the differences with these taxes so that you can make a decision to save more money. So in Shelby County, the median house cost is $175,000 to $200,000. So for that, your tax bill for that price range is going to vary anywhere between $1,900 to $2,200 annually. Then in Tipton County, the median house price is $143,800, and the average tax bill for that price range is $880. And so then in Fayette County, the median house price there is $164,200. And the tax bill for that price range is $616. And so when it comes to the national average, the median house price nationally is $240,000. And then the tax bill annually is $2,400. And then just in Tennessee as a whole, the Tennessee median home value in Tennessee is $180,000 and up. And the tax bill annually is between $1,200 and $1,300, a little bit over $1,300 a month. So as you can see here, in Shelby County, the taxes are substantially higher. And then when you get into the Collierville area and the Germantown area, the taxes are a lot higher there. So I just want you to be informed about the taxes so that you can decide, okay, do I want to be in Shelby County or do I need to be in Fayette or Tipton? And then the great thing about living in West Tennessee is that the traffic is not bad at all. Not at all. You can travel from one side of the one side of the city, to another side with ease. So there you have it. Number one, your taxes. So we also have the homestead and the tax freeze. We also have benefits and credits for military members, veterans, and disabled veterans. So for the homestead tax freeze, ages 65, homeowners ages 65 and higher, whose household income is below the county set limit. So we're looking at around $37,500 in the year 2025, this year. This program will basically freeze your taxes in the future. So your taxes will be a set amount. And even if the taxes rise in the coming years, your taxes will freeze. So that's definitely a benefit for the Homestead or Tax Freeze Act. And then as far as the military veterans, the county offers up to $175,000 property value. Your taxes will be exempt. You'll get a tax calculated credit. So basically, you get a credit, and for disabled veterans, you're exempt for up to $175,000. So above that, then you will pay your taxes. So this is some great information, and then this applies to disabled veterans and surviving spouses as well. There's an exemption for us that are disabled veterans. So it's just great information for you to know so that you can save money on your taxes. Well, number two, home inspections. Never, ever, ever skip the home inspection. Even if you're buying the home outright, cash, you always want to get a home inspection, even if you're buying the home as is, because we can still put an inspection clause in there even in that instance. However, what we're looking at is even if you're buying a home as is and you're paying cash for it, you're going to want a home inspection so you'll know what you're getting into. So you'll know what's going on with the home. But definitely, if you are getting a loan, you definitely want to have that home inspection. You know, I've had several buyers that we had the home inspection, and then I also recommended them to do additional inspections because in certain parts of Tennessee, there's a lot of trees. Like in Midtown area, there's tons of trees. So nothing wrong with trees. I love trees, but with the roots in the trees, there could be problems in the sewage. There could be problems with the pipes being penetrated by the tree roots. So I highly recommended that my client went and got a sewer scope. And lo and behold, she was grateful that we got the sewer scope because there was an issue with the sewer lines. So had she not done that, she would have never known. And that would have been tens of thousands of dollars that she would have had to spend. So unfortunately, we walked away from that deal. She spent some money on the front end finding out about that during the inspection, but that was thousands of dollars that she would have saved, that she did save in the long run. And we found her a better house with trees, with no issues with the sewer lines. So never skip the home inspection. It's only going to cost you anywhere between $300 or $500 minimum. And depending on the square footage of the home, it could be more, but that's going to be money worth spending. And also, I have a list of home inspectors that I would recommend you use. You could use whatever home inspector that you want, but I work with a few great home inspectors that are familiar with the homes here in West Tennessee and the Memphis area. So number three, flood zones. Flood. Oh my goodness. That can definitely cost you a lot of money. And this is something that your lender is definitely going to be paying attention to. So definitely, how can we discover if there's issues with floods? Now, I would tell you some areas have flooded years and years ago, and there haven't been floods for many years. But you can look at the FEMA map, and you can look at these areas as FEMA has identified to see if it's in low-lying areas. And then with that being said, you may definitely fall in love with a home, but in that instance, you that is in that area, you can just carry some flood insurance. Here are some of the areas that are high risk. So we have the Mississippi River that runs through downtown Memphis, Tennessee. And so areas that are adjacent to the Mississippi River, such as downtown Memphis, the Riverside area, and neighborhoods like Harbor Town, Fraser, parts of North Memphis, parts of South Memphis, are mapped as high risk flood zones. Then also, like I said, we can look at the FEMA map to look at these areas to see if it's in a flood zone. Not saying that you cannot buy it, but you definitely will need to carry that flood insurance. Low-lying neighborhoods, areas like Westwood, Binghamton, they may be subject to periodic flooding, particularly during high rain and flash flood events. And we do get a lot of rain in Memphis as well. And so like I said, once again, how can you check your flood zone? Use the FEMA flood map service center for property specific mapping or Tennessee Interactive Property Viewer. The blue shaded areas on the map indicate that there's a risk for flood. So like I said, knowing those flood zones and knowing those flood areas. Not saying that you can't buy there, because you may find a property that you fall in love with, but I just want you to know before you buy. So we'll have so many days for the inspection period. And then once we've done with all the inspections, then we'll send over a list of items that we're asking the seller to repair or replace. And then we'll have so many days based off the contract to come up with an agreement on what the seller is going to fix or repair or replace and what you're willing to agree upon. And then once we come to an agreement on that, then we will do the amendment to the contract so that those repairs will be locked in, what the seller is willing to fix and what you're willing to agree upon. So like I said, in the inspection period and the inspection report, we're not asking for cosmetic things. It could be the heating and cooling system. It could be safety items. And these are things that I will be explaining to you further. And once we get the report and as the home inspection is being done, we will be identifying those things. But in the state of Tennessee and Mississippi, the seller pays for the title search and the buyer pays for the insurance on the title. And one other thing, it is highly encouraged to use a local lender. You don't have to, but it's definitely highly encouraged to use a local lender. A lot of the lenders that work with me locally, they will pick up the phone on a weekend. They'll pick up the phone even in the evenings. Sometimes there's an issue that goes well on into the evening and you can't get off and to discuss it. So we have to wait to discuss it once you get off work. Some of these big lenders, they don't answer the phone on the weekend. They don't answer the phone in the evening. And if there's an issue going on with your loan, we can't talk to them until the next business day. So that's the beauty of working with local lenders. And they also understand the rules and the laws. I have had buyers work with lenders that were out of state and we had no issues. However, I have had a few that worked with out of state lenders and there were issues getting them to closing. So like I said, it's your choice, but it is highly encouraged to use a local lender. Number 5, choosing the right community. Every community is not going to be a good fit for you, but I've covered a few communities in my last video. We're going to talk about a few communities in this video and videos going forward. We're going to do some home tours. We're going to do some neighborhood tours. We're going to look at shops and different communities and different things to do so that you can kind of get a feel before you get here on maybe where you want to live. However, I would highly encourage you, go to niche.com. It is down in the description so you can look at these statistics and you can do the research to kind of understand and get an idea. Okay, I want to be here. This sounds safer for me. This sounds better for me, you know, and me and my family. A few of the top neighborhoods, according to niche.com: Germantown and Collierville, and then Atoka and Mumford. So we're just going to look at those four communities. So the population in Collierville and Germantown is between 40,000 to 52,000. In Atoka, the population is 6,500, and Atoka and Mumford up to 10,000. Germantown and Collierville has some of the top rated public and private schools. And then Atoka and Mumford, which is near the Naval Air Station, they have good and smaller schools, and they're rated good. The shopping and dining in Germantown and Collierville is going to be upscale, diverse, and abundant. And then in Atoka and Mumford, you're going to have local dining and limited chains and stuff. So you'll go over to Millington, which they have a lot more restaurants. And then you're about 30 minutes from Memphis. So you'll have a lot more options there in Memphis if you're in the Atoka and Mumford area. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of parks and organized festivals and a lot of things to do in Collierville and Germantown. And then in Atoka and Mumford, you also have festivals and a lot of nature trails and a lot of different, it's in rural areas, different things to do. The housing is more luxurious and modern and established in Collierville and Germantown. In Atoka and Mumford, you are going to have some existing homes, but you're going to have a lot more new builds, larger lots, and it's more affordable. And it's building, it's growing. Those areas are definitely growing and expanding. And as far as the pace of life in Collierville and Germantown, you're going to have a fast pace, convenience, and social. But in Atoka and Mumford, it's going to be more relaxed, more neighborly, and more diverse. And also the community feel more cosmopolitan, planned, and active in Germantown and Collierville. And Germantown and Collierville are right next door to one another. And so is Atoka and Mumford. And then the community feel in Atoka and Mumford is going to be more rural, more tight-knit, and just, you know, just a really small town feel in those areas. And for those that are coming to live in NSA Mid-South, the naval station there, Atoka, Mumford, and Millington are definitely the places that you want to be. Millington, you're right outside the base. Atoka and Mumford is about 15 to 20-minute commute. So you'll definitely be right at home and have a lot of military neighbors nearby as well. So I have a couple bonus tips. Yes. And my next video is going to be on this program. So I am a Homes for Heroes affiliate. And so I just wanted to give you that tip on in Tennessee, you get a hero reward. I donate a portion of my commission to Homes for Heroes. And when you close buying or selling, you get a hero reward, cash reward from Homes for Heroes in the state of Tennessee. Mississippi does honor the program, but it's a little different. And then we also have a lot of down payment assistance programs and a lot of programs here in the state of Tennessee. So in first-time home buyers, and if it's been a while since you bought a home, there's a lot of programs. And I will tell you, the market is shifting. It has shifted, and now buyers are getting all closing costs, if not some closing costs. So it's definitely a great time to buy. If you're relocating to Memphis, West Tennessee, or North Mississippi, I would love and I look forward to working with you. Go ahead and give me a call or send me a text and set up an appointment with me or one of my teammates will get the call and book an appointment with you for your free home buyer strategy session. Or let's say you're relocating, you're leaving this area. We can book a free home seller strategy session as well. And then in the pinned comments below or in the description, there's 2 links, not one, but 2. One for those that are selling, one for those that are coming and relocating. And so if you know anybody that is relocating to West Tennessee or North Mississippi, or maybe moving, or maybe they're relocating anywhere, I can assist in helping them find a great real estate agent. But if they're coming here or leaving here, share this information with them, and like, comment, and subscribe. If you got any questions, you like what you saw, definitely, we love your comments. We love to interact with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazingly awesome day.